Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to add my voice to this important bill. Before I had my contribution.
You mentioned you wanted a special consideration because you just became a father last night.
Yes, I got a baby girl.
You get a baby girl, and
yes,
as part of the
yes. Thank you.
Appreciation and
thank you. Yes, Mr. Speaker, thank you so much for this recognition.
We don't have paternity leave here, but you can have your paternity leave.
Thank you. The baby girl will grow to become one of the most important persons in this world and nation. And we love women. Mr. Speaker, before I had my contribution, I just want to draw to this house, we need to respect our women. I was in the labor ward for 4 good hours with my wife, and whatever women go through must be respected by the society. Mr. Speaker, there is no single man who is in any way supposed to bully a woman. And I recognize and respect women all over the world. I salute you. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity also to wish all the Catholics worldwide a good Ash Wednesday, a day of repentance, a day of prayers, and a day Christians reflect on immortality and also seek forgiveness, Mr. Speaker. On the bill, I would like to start by thanking Mary Mainki for coming up with such an important Mary Wamaua. And Mary Wamaua is my good friend and a colleague, and let me salute the Honorable Lady for wonderful legislative proposal she has brought to this floor. Mr. Speaker, the bill is very progressive and timely, coming at a time when we are all adopting a new education policy and also the system, Mr. Speaker. I want to support it because by establishing this sub-county education board, we are going to establish a clear data bank of all the institutions we will be having in our respective constituencies or sub-counties, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill is also going to ensure that the board recommends institutions that may need funding and proper and adequate resource allocation, Mr. Speaker. Touching on the issues, I would like to recommend to the motion mover if we can also add the director of Teachers Service Commission on this matter, because some of these schools, TSC has not allocated enough resources to the schools. So we can have director of education from the ministry and also director of Teachers Service Commission. It will make sense in allocating or rather staffing these schools and institutions, Mr. Speaker. On the issue of composition, let me laud the inclusion of Member of Parliament because he's the representative of the public, and I think the board will do a lot of a lot of good things to establish this institution. Mr. Speaker, the school, if this board, if it's going to be established, will assist the Ministry of Education in allocating resources that are adequately needed. And it will also enable the schools, the board of management, to come up with competent and proper quality of the board members. Because most of the schools are facing the challenges of BOM. They end up electing somebody, or rather appointing somebody who has just cleared Form 4. We need to bring this sanity to ensure that even the people who are doing these stakeholders meetings, they have a relevant qualification to manage this institution. Mr. Speaker, there is so much to talk about it. Let me support it and appreciate that This honorable lady has done a good job, and we need to support it. And in case of any amendments, I'll be bringing this amendment to include the Teachers Service Commission in this board. With those few remarks, I support fully. Thank you.
MP for Mandela South. What's your point of order? What's out of order?
Thank you, Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge this House to allow those who don't have cards to be given an opportunity, because, you know, now I'm trying to press and I lost my card. So I request for an opportunity to contribute, because this is a very important motion, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Fair enough. Abdul Haro, and then I'll come to the ladies. Where's Mwale Tindi? He's not in?
Thank you.
Okay. After Tindi Mwale, then the lady, gracious ladies, Jematia and her neighbor, and then, of course, we come the other side. There's also...
Thank you.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity, so that I can make my contribution to this very important bill. And from the onset, I must thank the sponsor of the bill, Honorable Mary Wamaua. As it has been said by my fellow colleagues who have spoken before me, the bill is timely. And the bill proposes changes to the Basic Education Act 2013 to establish sub-county education board in each sub-county. And the objective of the bill is to decentralize education oversight by creating localized boards which are under the guidance of the county education boards. Honorable Speaker, this bill is very important because it touches at the education sector at a time when we are having a lot of crises in the education sector. We are grappling with the question around capitation in our schools. We are grappling with the question around university funding model, the inadequate JSS classrooms, the inadequate laboratories, lack of infrastructure, lack of teachers, so many challenges in the education sector currently. And one of the theaters where these challenges are playing out is actually at that lower level, particularly at the sub-county level, where most of those challenges actually exhibit their ugly heads in a very big way. Honorable Speaker, it should not be lost to us that education is actually the equalizer of society. And being an equalizer of society, we also have a lot of other things that make us not realize that equalization bit of education as the equalizer of society. For example, we have differences in some of our regions, socioeconomic inequalities. We have systemic inequalities. And then what I've said earlier about lack of infrastructure. Now, coming to the bill is very important for those reasons I've mentioned.